He was literally telling her that he could speak to the dead, and he was talking to her her recently dead father.
She asked him herself to play Ryle in the movie.
Justin Baldoni, still a psycho. Like, I do believe that he was like, Blake Lively, I have dreams about your dead dad.
Did you think the drama swirling around Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni had reached peak absurdity? Guess again. Hold on to your popcorn, because apparently this Hollywood saga just leveled up.
I guess he's part of some new age religion. It kept asking Blake Lively about her religion. I don't know if he was trying to recruit her.
According to new lawsuit filings, Blake Lively now claims Justin Baldoni orchestrated a horrible prank involving her late father, an incident that allegedly left her disturbed and ready to blow the lid off everything. That's right, folks. We're talking about a star-studded meltdown involving brand new allegations, a potent Me Too legal shield, and so much behind-the-scenes tension, it makes the average soap opera look like child's play.
That's so gross and weird and manipulative.
Let's start with the bombshell. Lively says she was subjected to a vile joke about her dad who passed away in 2021. You'd think that in any civilized workplace, especially a film set, nobody would dare poke fun at someone's recently deceased parent. But, per the new lawsuit revelations, that's exactly what Blake claims happened. The fiasco allegedly went down during filming, though the specifics remain fuzzy.
Had a relationship with him and was giving Blake Lively messages from her dead father.
Some rumors mention Justin pulling a gotcha that involved referencing Blake's dad in a comedic context. Others suggest it was more personal and invasive, something that apparently left her reeling. Either way, we know it was grim enough for her to label it disturbing and use it as partial grounds for legal action against Justin. Skeptics immediately asked, wait, how does a horrible prank factor into a legal war about sexual harassment, defamation, and brand new Me Too laws? Good question.
He had a closer connection with him than Blake Lively because now that he's dead, he can talk to him.
By all accounts, this drama is the love child of a typical Hollywood feud and a twisted reality TV storyline. Now we've got paternal grief, gag jokes, and top-tier attorneys all vying for center stage. And since it's 2025 Hollywood, you can bet each side has a spin team working overtime to sell their version of events.
In the end, Justin Baldoni, who cares? No one knew who he was beforehand. Everyone knows who he is now.
If you've been dozing under a rock, here's a refresher. Justin Baldoni filed a defamation countersuit after Blake and Ryan sparked major allegations, painting him as a manipulative predator figure. Blake, meanwhile, claims Justin was the one who crossed all sorts of lines. That set off a legal arms race, with each side dumping more and more receipts into the public eye, from text messages to behind-the-scenes film footage.
And that what in fact happened was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it. And used threats and coercion and bullying to do it.
Enter California's brand new Me Too law, also known as Code of Civil Procedure 47.1. It's meant to protect genuine harassment victims from defamation lawsuits, effectively giving them a powerful legal shield if they speak up. Noble in theory, but in practice, as Baldoni's side sees it, that shield is morphing into a Trojan horse for high-status celebrities who want to fling allegations without consequence. And guess who's apparently brandishing that shield like a medieval knight? Yes, Ms. Lively herself. She's filed a motion to dismiss Baldoni's countersuit, contending that her claims about him are all protected speech.
Okay, well, you want to play Sherlock Holmes, you're going to get sued like Sherlock Holmes.
If she wins, Baldoni doesn't just lose. He might have to cover her sky-high legal fees, plus potential punitive damages. That's basically a nuclear bomb in legal terms. So while the horrible prank about her father is being paraded as a prime example of Justin's alleged wrongdoing, it's also fueling the suspicion that this entire fiasco is, at its core, a strategic takedown under the shiny banner of Me Too.
He's a Me Too victim there. That's absurd. She seems like kind of a jerk. Wow, she's like kind of a bully. She's rather mean. This guy who had, comparatively very little power was forced now to come out and tell the truth about Blake Lively.
In case you're worried, we won't talk about Ryan Reynolds and his, questionable parenting moment. Fear not. The internet is still ablaze over claims that the Deadpool actor coerced his 7-year-old daughter into delivering a raunchy line referencing Hugh Jackman's nether regions. We're talking about a cameo or outtake so explicit, so unkid-friendly, that apparently the child didn't even want to say it at first. Rumor has it Reynolds threatened to recast her if she refused. Because if there's one way to ensure your daughter stays in therapy for life, it's telling her, Say the line about Wolverine's private parts, or I'm calling another child actor.
Hey, when I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's out of your mouth.
That's kid.
Guiltily, that is my daughter,
I'm
Inez.
so sorry we have to admit that.
And I am Father of the Year over here for allowing her to say such language, which, to her credit, she really didn't want to say.
To top it off, director Sean Levy allegedly confirmed they did the line 70 to 500 times, a comedic exaggeration that still suggests an alarming number of takes. Sordid, awkward, cringe. Pick your favorite adjective. The timing of these revelations is especially rich since Ryan's been busily painting Justin Baldoni as a predator behind the scenes.
We made Nezzy do I'm not you 70 to 500 versions of that line.
I'm gonna pay for that later.
The irony, many say, is so thick you could slice it with a katana. Now zoom out for a moment and see the big picture. Blake Lively, once queen of the red carpet, is brandishing a new angle about this horrible prank targeting her late father. She's using it to fortify her claims that Justin Baldoni fostered a hostile, harassing environment. Justin, on the other hand, insists these stories are twisted or exaggerated. He's countersuing for defamation, basically saying, she's lying, Your Honor, and she's lying maliciously.
You know, for the first time at the premiere, you find out that Blake Lively tells people that all of a sudden he wrote a scene in the movie.
Then we fold in the harassment angle. Typically, if you stand accused of harassment, you might respond by explaining why you believe you're innocent. But in California, thanks to Code 47.1, if the accusation touches sexual misconduct, it's insanely tough for an accused party to fight back. They must prove actual malice, that the accuser knew they were lying. Baldoni's attorneys are calling that standard an uphill climb of epic proportions, especially when their big star adversaries wield near limitless PR and legal resources. But let's circle back to the horrible prank about Blake's father. Why would Justin do something so twisted if he's trying to keep his own reputation squeaky clean? Fans of Justin, who's often portrayed as the earnest, heart-on-his-sleeve type, especially post-Jane the Virgin, are deeply skeptical. They suspect Blake might be inflating a small, ill-conceived joke or a behind-the-scenes misunderstanding into something monstrous.
Blake Lively Justin Baldoni cases likely won't settle before trial, and this is according to Justin's lawyer.
Meanwhile, supporters of Blake say, why would she lie about her dad? That's too personal, too raw. Regardless, the prank detail is shock marketing at its finest. It hits emotional levels, grief for a lost parent, disrespect for the dead, plus the entire cringe factor of blending that into a comedic stunt. If the lawsuit is a script, the father prank angle is the big tearjerker scene designed to paint Justin as irredeemably cruel. If Blake wins her motion, Justin could face staggering financial ruin. Attorney fees, triple damages, you name it. Already, some of his projects have reportedly stalled, thanks to the overshadowing swirl of negative press. On top of that, Ryan and Blake remain Teflon in mainstream media. They're not some underpaid interns cowering in the corner. They've got brand deals, A-list connections, and a formidable fan base that might not even read beyond the headlines. So Justin's up against not just a legal fortress, but a mountain of star power that can overshadow any rebuttal. Justice, in Hollywood terms, rarely follows a fairy tale script.
But Blake Lively, it appears to me, completely lied about that critical scene in which she involved Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, her dragon, she's Khaleesi, because she really wanted her vision to be included in this.
Observers wonder if Justin can truly get a neutral hearing, especially when every major gossip outlet runs with Blake Lively terrified by Justin's horrible prank about her dead father as a headline. That's an emotional gut punch that's tough to counter with a calm, evidence-based explanation. Amid all this chaos, the public is starting to give some serious side-eye. On one hand, we have Me Too laws designed to protect real victims, an undeniably good thing. On the other, we see a famous actress with unlimited resources using that law to potentially shut down a defamation claim. Some fans find it distasteful, especially given the swirl of contradictory stories about the set, the vanished phone evidence, the suspiciously timed New York Times piece, and so on. Likewise, Ryan Reynolds' Father of the Year image is crumbling as people question what kind of parent forces his underage child to spout explicit lines. The same man who brandishes the Predator label for Justin. Pot, meet kettle. The meltdown is real, and you can't exactly dismiss the hypocrisy. Just like you can't ignore how convenient it is that a brand new, horrible prank story about Blake's late father surfaces right when she needs extra ammo in the legal dogfight. Your guess is as good as ours. The meltdown is so multi-layered, part legal chess, part PR war, part tragic personal drama, that the ending might not come for months or even years. Justin's legal team is adamant they can prove actual malice. They say they have evidence, showing Blake and Ryan intentionally spun stories to sabotage Justin's career. Blake's side calls that nonsense, insisting they're only telling the world how Justin inflicted real harm, like that father-related stunt that allegedly traumatized her. All the while, the industry bigwigs must be feeling whiplash, unsure whose side to pick. Because it's not just about he said, she said, it's about who can weaponize the court of law and the court of public opinion with the greatest skill. For them, supporting the losing side might mean professional blacklisting in an era of big acquisitions and swirling rumors about corporate power plays. One could argue the moral is, never pull pranks involving someone's deceased loved one. Or, don't drag your 7-year-old into an R-rated cameo. Or maybe it's a bigger lesson about how laws meant to protect genuine victims can be hijacked for personal vendettas. Because at the end of the day, real victims do exist. And every time a high-powered celebrity tries to stretch the concept of victimhood for strategic gains, it risks demeaning those who truly need legal shields. Meanwhile, we the spectators munch our metaphorical popcorn and wonder how many plot twists can possibly drop before the final credits roll. The horrible prank bombshell is just the latest. Rest assured, if the last few months have taught us anything, it's that you should always expect more. More lawsuits, more ominous text messages leaking, more boundary crossing from people who claim the moral high ground, and definitely more comedic meltdown moments from the couple once hailed as the funniest in Hollywood. Whether Justin is indeed the puppet master of cruelty, or Blake's father-focused claim is a smokescreen, it's clear that this fiasco is rewriting Hollywood's idea of a messy meltdown. If you're looking for a neat, tidy, moral outcome, well, you might be waiting a while. Stay tuned, because in this corner of Tinseltown, the drama rarely fades to black. It just resets for the next scene, with bigger stakes and louder fireworks. And in the center stands an alleged horrible prank that's either horrifyingly real or horrifyingly strategic. Only time, and probably a high-stakes trial, will tell.